To be honest, it is very unusual for Caitlin Clark to talk about any NBA player publicly. Well, she seems to have made an exception for Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton very recently. She had words for Haliburton after a play. Anyway, join me as I walk you through what Caitlin Clark had to say about Tyrese Halliburton. Shocking play. For the second straight year, the Indiana Pacers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. An amazing feat if you ask anyone in Indiana. After all, this team didn't make the playoffs for 3 straight years before that, lost in the first round for 5 straight years before that, and last made it to the NBA Finals 25 years ago. They have never even won a championship, and the only basketball championship in the state is from the Indiana Fever back in 2012. Anyway, with the Pacers' performances so far in the 2025 playoff series, it seems Indiana is starting to believe they can win it all, and one of the most excited persons in the state has been Caitlin Clark. She's been attending the home games and tuning in to watch all the games, even while she's on pre-season. She's actually called in on the Pacers post-game radio show to praise the Indiana Pacers. In her words, the first half was probably the best offensive half I've ever seen in all of basketball. It was fun.
Caitlin, do you have some thoughts for Mr. Simon and about the game in general tonight?
What a win. I mean, first half was probably the best offensive half I've ever seen in all of basketball. It was fun. Great half.
Now, I got to ask you.
Great game, great win all around.
Without a doubt, the team has raised her expectations, and one player in particular has left her speechless. Well, it's none other than Tyrese Halliburton. So far in the 2025 playoffs, Tyrese Halliburton is averaging 17.5 points, 9.3 assists and 5.5 rebounds per game. However, this doesn't tell the whole story of how she's leaving Pacers fans, particularly Caitlin Clark, speechless. I mean, she is a student of the game, and the plays Halliburton has been making this playoff have had Caitlin in awe. In Game 5 of the first round of the playoffs, Halliburton scored the game winner over Giannis with 10.9 seconds to go. The whole of Indiana was excited, and Caitlin wasn't an exception. She was out there in the tunnel jumping and celebrating Haliburton's game winner over the Milwaukee Bucks.
Haliburton against Giannis. Haliburton,
got
3
it,
seconds,
got it,
puts it in!
got it.
He put it in! 1 3/10!
There's no timeout.
No time!
Caitlin Clark even went out of her way to repost a clip of the game winner with multiple hush emojis. According to Caitlin Clark, that was one of the best finishes she has ever been part of, and she had to go look at the ESPN win probability after the game.
It was crazy. I was down in the tunnel watching, so, I mean, I had to go look at the ESPN win probability after that. It was like 97.9, which I'm like, how is it not 99.9? But one of the best finishes I've ever been a part of, and Pacers are so fun to watch.
Anyway, fast forward to the Eastern Conference semi-final series against the best record in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was still down to Tyrese Halliburton's brilliance. In Game 2 of the series, Haliburton scored 11 of his 19 points in the final 12 minutes, and his last point was a game winner that had Caitlin Clark and the rest of the world very speechless. With 27.5 seconds left on the clock, Indiana tried to tie the game and send it to overtime with a three-pointer, but Haliburton got fouled. He made the first free throw, missed the second, got the offensive rebound and dribbled out to the three-point line and won the game. It was a wild play, and it came down to one man to win the game, Tyrese Halliburton, a player who was 9 for 10 on shots to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime this year, showed the world why he is the leader of the team and why they should be dreaming of a championship. And as you could possibly guess, Caitlin Clark was the most excited. She went on X to show her excitement at the play, joining the likes of Patrick Malone, DeForest Buckner, Kenny Moore and Triple H, who all went on the net to praise Haliburton. He is one of a kind and has even been compared to Caitlin Clark by Indiana Fever's newly appointed general manager, Kelly Krauskopf, who said she, much like Tyrese Halliburton, gets you the ball in places that you didn't even know you were open because she passes to space. She finds openings and ways to free up other players. Hall of Fame point guard Isaiah Thomas even confessed that Tyrese Halliburton had a Caitlin Clark-type game to close out the Cavs in the NBA playoffs, saying he thinks Haliburton has been watching Caitlin Clark because he sees a lot of her in his game. When he walked in, I said he's walking in like Caitlin Clark. This is a Caitlin Clark type of game, spreading the floor, right? Shooting it from way out there. Well, the comparison couldn't be any truer, and it's one that Caitlin herself agrees with. In fact, Tyrese is one of the tiny few NBA players that you'll see Caitlin Clark talk about. And that is, well, saying something about the kind of talent that Tyrese Halliburton is.
I would say there's a couple of them, yes. And you look at what makes those players so great. They're junkies, right? They want to be there. There's a game going on. I want to be in the gym. I want to watch it.
Haliburton with some task force in the stadium.
One of a few. Despite being one of the most famous players in sports right now, Caitlin Clark tries her best to avoid controversies, and that includes talking about other people. You won't see her go out of her way to start a controversy or talk about another athlete. However, so far in her basketball career, she has done that to only 3 NBA players: Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Tyrese Halliburton. Well, that's saying something because Tyrese is in elite company here. Caitlin has praised Steph Curry's influence and also went out of her way to pick a side in the greatest of all time debate. LeBron is like the greatest basketball player of all time. I've always been a fan of his, Caitlin Clark said. She praised the 4-time Finals MVP for living up to all the expectations set for him, coming straight out of high school, and admitted that at 40 years old, LeBron is still one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. I mean, right now in basketball, Caitlin Clark's stardom is only rivaled by the likes of LeBron and Steph Curry, and she has still gone out of her way to praise these superstars, and also Tyrese Halliburton too. In any case, both superstars might be on a race to bring a championship to Indiana. 2 franchise players, who's winning a chip first? Race for a championship. Well, thanks to the Indiana Fever, Indiana already has a championship. 2012, led by Tamika Catchings, the Fever brought a title to the state, something the Pacers are yet to do in their 58 years of experience. Unfortunately, since winning the championship, the Fever haven't been to another finals, including missing the playoffs for 6 straight years. Well, that was until Caitlin Clark led them back to the playoffs in her rookie season. The Pacers, on the other hand, are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the 2nd straight year, hoping to make it to the NBA Finals for the 2nd time in their history, and the 1st time since they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 25 years ago. In any case, Haliburton stands a chance of winning a ring first, should he lead the Pacers to a win in this playoff. Regardless, we all have to agree that Indiana is in safe hands with these 2 young superstars. Indiana can be confident in either or both of them bringing a championship, and that's something to look forward to.
Ogumake, the weak side rebound, and then Clark the steal. Mitchell the knockaway. Clark's 3. It's good.
Kelsey Mitchell, really nice energy and gets them a possession back on that play.
Anyway, NBA fans have all had a thing or two to say about this dynamic duo and their importance to Indiana, because, according to a user comment, these 2 are about to change basketball for Indiana. Another user commented, Indiana having both Caitlin and Haliburton? That's just not fair. So if you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time, and I'll see you later on in another one. Take care, bye.